right, thank you guys for coming out here on a Sunday. We just wanted to give you a brief update on the latest in our teacher strike. The district and union resumed negotiations yesterday, and the district presented an offer to pay teachers for additional instructional minutes. This means that we've built in compensation for the added student instructional minutes that we are building into the teacher day. No time will be added to the teacher workday. The district and SEA will enter into an interest-based bargaining twice a month to determine how this 20 minutes of K-12 instructional time, early and late release, will be apportioned at elementary, secondary, and K-8 schools in 2017 to 18 school year. Please keep in mind the additional student instructional time is to address the fact that Seattle elementary students are among the lowest statewide for the instructional day at 6 hours and 10 minutes compared to the state average of 6.5. This also addresses state mandates. Once we and SEA can agree for more time for students, we will work with our SEA partners and parents to see how this can be implemented. Negotiations are currently underway right now, but because an agreement still has not been made, there will not be school tomorrow. We are now into a situation where the school calendar is starting to be impacted. The 3 snow days that we typically build into the calendar have already been exhausted. We will now have to look at whether we need to shorten our holiday breaks or add additional days to the end of the school year. Graduation dates may also change. Once we reach an agreement with SEA, we will then have to address these calendar items, and that is another reason why we were so anxious to get our kids back into the classroom. It's also important to note that once school does resume, all kindergartners will start on the first day, not a delayed start as originally planned. Regarding salary, I've given you a handout. We have shared the district's salary compensation proposal. Please note that these are figures pre-last night. Another way to look, this is just another way to kind of break down for you. So please note that that is a 180-day work year for them. And this is salary and compensation. It does not include stipends. Again, it is still not what we like, but it's what we can afford. And other than that, all I really have to say is we're hopeful that we can get our 53,000 kids back into school soon. And again, we're at the negotiation table right now. Questions?
Stacy, what's the interest-based bargaining, and if you could just slow that down and explain a little more of what that entails.
I actually don't have a lot of details. That's something new that's just come in the last several hours. I just wanted to give that update, but I'm going to work on getting
Sorry,
it.
I missed what you said. So twice a month, what is going to happen? Or that is just your proposal? Or?
Interest-based bargaining. So we have made an offer to compensate our teachers for these 20 instructional minutes or face-to-face time with our students into their workday. So once an agreement is made, then we have to figure out how we're going to make that happen. That's,
right, and you're saying if that agreement is made, you will meet with the union twice a month to figure that out?
yes.
Okay. And then when you were talking about the school days added on, when you said 3 days, the snow days have been used up, so what does that mean?
So typically we try to put in a few days into the school year. So for example, we have 3 days this year already built in as buffer days between semesters. So we've removed those. So once school starts, that's day 1, 2, and 3. So because we already were on strike for 3 days last week, those have now been used. So far, the students do not have to go extra, but obviously now tomorrow there's 1 day. So we'll have to look at, we do have a full week of winter break this year. That may be one option. We're just not sure yet, but that's another thing that we'll have to meet with SEA about.
And so are you saying that right now they're not losing any time at all, that there was even this buffer day that you're talking about, was that a day off that they?
It's likely. I don't want to say absolutely for sure those 3 snow days will transform over, but as of right now, except that we don't have school tomorrow, those 3 days from last week appear to already have been worked in because of those 3 days between semesters where the kids would not have had school. Melissa?
But the teachers were planning on working those days, is that what you're saying?
Teachers usually do.
I see.
So are you saying that the students will stay in school a longer amount of time, or that seniors that are expecting to graduate on certain days will not graduate on those days?
We don't know yet. I mean, that's all to be determined.
And you said now there's a full week of mid-winter break?
Seattle Public Schools does mid-winter break every other year, where it's a full week, and then there's none, or just, I think, President's Day. So this is one of those years where it's a full week of midwinter break. That may be an option to shorten it. It just depends how long this goes.
Is there any hint at all from your side of progress having been made, getting closer?
I mean, all I can say is I think, that yesterday was a good sign, but, we want our teachers to be happy. We want our students to be happy. We need to be fiscally sound in all of this. So I know I keep saying that, but it's the truth, and that's what makes this so complex, is that we just don't know. But they're back there today, so.
Has anybody moved since yesterday?
Pardon?
Has anybody moved since yesterday?
The last update we had is what we gave you guys last night about our offer for the compensation for minutes.
How long did you guys meet yesterday? You started at 10 a.m., ended at about what time? And then what time did you start again today?
I don't know the exact time.
Okay.
So, just to go back to your first point, the 20 extra minutes that you want to add to the day is going to be compensated to the teachers?
Correct. Did you forget your question? Anybody else?
There was a question that somebody asked back on Friday about whether the district had retained Strategies 360 or some other
The answer
firm.
is no.
And so there's been made a point that there's $22 million in the reserve, and it's referenced back to the fiscal health of the district to have, the district policy, board policy has that. But what is the actual amount the board requires to be set aside?
I don't have that in front of me, Melissa, but I did give that number on Friday, and I'm more than happy to email it to you when we're done.
And are they meeting right now as we speak?
They are.
And so then they started what time today?
I don't know what time they started today. They were expected to start at noon, but I know that they're there right now.
Will they be meeting tomorrow as well?
I don't know yet. I'll get an update a little bit later and be sure to update you guys as soon as we hear.
And how late will they be meeting tonight?
I don't know.
No.
Since May, they've met around the clock. They have met overnight. So, I mean, it varies. It depends how close they are. It's really changing. And I thank you guys for your patience, and especially our parents, because it is tough. We don't know literally from 1 hour to the next if they're going to resolve or if it's going to go into another day.
So the teachers have not lost any money so far, is that what you said?
What do you mean by lost money?
In terms of salary, they have not lost any money.
No.
And they will not, if there's a 180-day.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
handout that I gave you, that is an offer that we made during this bargaining process as a raise to them, yes.
Okay.
Kyle?
I lost it.
Sorry
That's
about that.
Yeah, no, I lost
Okay.
it. I definitely
Call me
lost it.
later.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll be sure to update you guys as soon as we have anything, but if you can just please get the word out to our parents that there is no school.
I got it. Are you expecting a counter offer to whatever was put? What would the status of that be?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as we said last week, we were the most recent to make an offer, but then we sort of made an offer again. So it seems like anything can happen, but I'll let you know when I hear.
At one point, you guys it was discussion of maybe going to court before the strike happened. Nothing.
As of right now, the superintendent is not talking about legal action. The board authorized him the right to do so if he deems it's an emergency and necessary, but as of right now, that's not an option.
But there's no time limit on that.
He has not given a drop-dead date on that.
And is there anything you can tell us about the latest offer that was offered yet last night in terms of specific figures?
No, I don't have those.
Can you kind of characterize for us, I know now that we're starting to add days to the school year, how dire this is getting versus the first week where, those days would have been, snow days?
It is. This is, when you start getting into this coming week, it's going to impact a lot of this district and its operations. As I said on Friday, this is costing the district $100,000 a day. And Melissa, I don't know if you got those figures, but I can send you a breakdown of where that $100,000 comes from. We're trying to decrease that, but it's costing the city of Seattle money as well because they're working with us to try to open up childcare. So it changes a lot of things, and that's why, all of these are reasons why we just need to get the kids back into classrooms.
And can you confirm that a new offer was presented to the teachers in addition to this? I hear
That
question
is
being asked.
confirmed. Those figures I gave you are from last week. What was presented to them last night is in addition to that.
And just one more question about this. The max salary, is that with a PhD then?
I believe so, but I will get confirmation for you. Okay, thanks you guys.
Thanks, Stacy.